Career path. Everybody's been bugging you, I know, since you were little about what are you going to be when you grow up. And you're supposed to have the answer. And the pressure keeps on building, right? Like, I'm going to be a whatever. Except you're not. You're going to be a whole bunch of different things because you're going to live a long time. The world's going to change. You're going to change. Everything's going to keep changing. You're going to have a lot of careers. I'm going to tell you right now what you need to do today. Okay. And we're going to embark on the beginning of a new way of thinking about careers that's going to make your life less stressed, less crazy, more happy, and more productive. Big promises. I'm going to deliver. You ready? The first thing to understand is there is no such thing anymore for anybody as a career. That's from my grandpa's time. You know, my grandpa's picked something. Only men were paid to work then. Women worked, but they didn't get no money. So in grandpa's time, they had a job. They were identified by the job. Some of us have last names that mean a job in another language. My maiden name means somebody who worked with Windows. So your dad had that job. You had that job. You thought your son was going to have that job. All of that is over. Then there was a time in my daddy's time, like your grandpa's time, when there was a career and you had one career. You went to work, you stayed at the company, you got a pension, which doesn't happen anymore. And they gave you a present. They gave you a gold watch because only dudes stayed long enough to get a present. And that was that. It was all over. So your future is going to be different from anything anyone has ever seen in the whole world. And if somebody says to you, what are you going to do? It's meaningless. You're going to have multiple careers, right? So that's the first thing you can do is to reorient your thinking and settle into that and accept the adventure. So given that your career is going to be an adventure and you cannot know the destination, not going to know the destination, not happening. There's not going to be a sign that says this way to Milan. No, you don't have a destination. So what do you have right now? What you have, first step, movement. Any movement you make is a good thing. So what you can do right now for your career is try things, try different classes in school, get part-time job, try out ideas on social media, see how the world responds. Start noticing what people come to you to do. I was noticing the biggest makeup artists in the world now are people who started out with their sisters, their friends. Now it'll be your guy friends saying, oh, would you do my hair? Would you do my nails? Would you help me put together an outfit? Or if someone says to you, would you do my math homework for me? And you're glad to do it, that's kind of a hint. So any forward movement is good. And forward movement includes noticing what people are asking you to do for free. What they're asking you to do for free is a sign that, oh, maybe I can make money doing this. And here's a tip. The older generation never thinks that what you do for money as the younger generation makes sense. That the response is always, they pay you for this? Right? They pay you to take, videos of yourself on your phone. They pay you to play games. What? They pay you for this? Or you want to drop out of school 6 hours short of your degree because you want to go get into the music business. And they say, what? They pay you for this? Yeah. You know better than they do what you can get paid to do. So it is very likely that your passion can take you down a road where you can make some money, and you have to let go of your expectation that they can understand. Love them, and don't say out loud that Granny told you this, because I'll get in trouble, and then they'll beat me on YouTube and I'll get snarky comments from your parents. So love them, accept their limitations. That's how I can say it. In the South, when they think somebody's not really quite functioning on all cylinders, they say, bless your heart. So think about anybody who's telling you you can make money doing this. Just think, bless your heart, and go on and trust your own compass because you know better. You're going to live in this world and they're not. You win. And if you're like a lot of young people I know, you may be making money 2 different ways, 3 different ways. You probably already know what passive income is, which I didn't know when I was your age. And here's a little mantra I hang on to make that point, and I encourage you to think about this. I was mid-career, and I thought career meant job, which is so old school. Forget that. You know that. You're going to be doing, and probably are doing, 2 or 3 different things to make money. This HR expert said to me, Ronna, do you want another job? And I was like, blah, 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 blah. He said, well, let me ask you this. Would you raise llamas for $100,000 a year? And I was like, yeah. I would raise, do you have to feed them? Do you have to brush them? Do they smell bad? Yeah, I would do that. So if you are young and you have a money honey day gig and you want to do something else just to see if it's fun or to pursue your passion, that's great. I work with people who have day gigs, right? They have jobs because somebody in the group probably wants the benefits. If you're in America, the benefits are better if you have a job than if you don't. If you're lucky enough to live somewhere with healthcare, good on you. But still, you have different interests. You're a complex person. So if you can make money different ways or experiment with different careers at the same time, that's great. And they kind of fluctuate over time. Do any of you do yoga with Adrienne? She's like a huge YouTube star, right? I think 12 years of yoga with Adrienne. Adrienne thought she was an actress, and she was just doing these videos just for fun. And then suddenly one day she woke up and thought, oh, maybe this is what I'm doing. I hope the same thing happens to you, where you're doing something and you wake up one day and say, oh, I'm making a lot of money doing this, so give it a shot. My only caveat on pursuing other careers is watch out for all the other people who are trying to make money off of you pursuing other careers. There are so many of them out there. I'm not going to call them scammers, but they're offerings like, take this course and you can be a master coach and make $100,000 a year on the side. Take this course and within 3 months, you can have, 1 million views on YouTube and monetize your channel. Take this course and you can learn how to make $100,000 a month on YouTube without a product or on Amazon or wherever. When you see people giving you a promise and a short ad that says all you have to do is buy my product in order to get rich, somebody is getting rich. It's not you, it's them. So watch out, okay? That means here is another rockin' tip. And by the way, if you love what Granny tells you, Granny would love it if you subscribe, because then if you subscribe and hit notifications, then you'll know when I'm sharing my hard-earned wisdom with you. So I want to be with you. And if you want to be with me, that's what you need to do to come back. Anyway, I know everybody who was young, I can remember being young. I know that surprises you. Everybody who's young is worried about breaking up. Am I going to break up with that person? Are they going to break up with me? There are all kinds of articles now about who you divorcing your friends. There's all this stuff about breakups, which we'll talk about. The breakup I really, truly, 100% believe in, break up with your job. Oh, when do you break up with your job? You break up with your job under 2 circumstances. The first one, and the one I believe in most, is when you're not learning anything anymore. Now, you could be learning things like I learned, like how to work for somebody who's just not so good, right? How to get along. A great thing to learn is how to get along with a crazy, crazy, crazy teammate. You're always going to have one. I'm sorry. You're going to have a crazy teammate. So if you're still working on that, learn about that. But definitely, if you're learning skills, stay there till you've learned them and then get out. There's no stigma anymore, really, to moving around. Back in the day, your parents and your in real life people are going to say, older people, you can't look like a job hopper. That's not even a phrase you know anymore, right? Nobody really cares. So, try not to leave jobs every 3 months. But if you're leaving jobs to level up on your learning, that's really good. If you can't leave and you know you're not learning, absolutely mandatory, take a class, right? If you're going out 3 nights a week and you're not learning on the job, get rid of one of those nights a week you're going out. You'll save money on beer and you can spend that money on signing up for taking a class. Because when you stop learning on a job, doom, that is the temple of doom. You're hurting your future life. The other time to break up with your job is, I think everybody should have a draft of his, her, their resume ready all the time, but I know you don't. So you should have your resume ready, and you should be getting feeds on what is out there for your current job and what people are getting paid where you are. It's really tougher now to find virtual jobs. So if you're locked into a location, you want to really know what the market is like. It's just like knowing if your parents own your home or your mom owns your home or you know somebody who owns a home. They're talking about, oh, my home is not worth as much as it once was. What is your job worth? Are they paying you enough, or are they still ripping you off because they got you when you were cheap right out of school labor? So before you leave because of money, if you like it, we'll do another video on how to ask for more money, honey. And if they still say no, then it's time to leave. But money is not as important a reason to leave as learning. The other thing I learned a little later in my life, but it's so important. This is the last point because it's the most important point. You should be working on finding your people. And I will give you just one story to explain how I found my people and why I know it's so important. I had a big corporate career and I was climbing the corporate ladder and they were saying good things to me and, you know, someday my child, you will be queen. But I happened to go to this meetup of entrepreneurs instead of corporate people. And suddenly I thought, oh, I love these people. I love them. I love what they're talking about. I get them. It feels like they get me. It felt like coming home. And I've since talked to hundreds, maybe thousands of people. They can do okay in the entrepreneurial world. Maybe they belong in a corporate world. They're great influencers, but maybe they'd be even better as an entrepreneur. You don't know who your people are until you visit them, right? So think about, I want to find my people. I want to find the people who are doing what I do and see if I feel at home. One thing I support is there are a lot of groups that represent people based on their outside characteristics. They're women in business. They're like, you know, the 100 top Black men business owners. They're, you know, LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs. There's slices by interest and by characteristics and preferences. Okay to belong to one of them. Don't only belong to one of them, and I'll tell you why. Money doesn't flow by characteristic, right? Money flows by deliverable. So find a place that's got the people that you feel safe with. That's good. Also, you want to be in the bigger pool because the bigger pool is where the money comes down, right? And no matter what you do, if you're an entrepreneur, an influencer, corporate job, in some kind of relationship, work relationship we haven't even imagined yet, when you're going to be, you know, managing a team of bots, you need to be in a bigger pool because the money streams flow into that. That's my advice about career. I have so much more to say about career, but give me comments because then I'll know how to coach you. You can get free coaching from me. Yes, indeed. Absolutely free, just for subscribing and telling me what you want. Now that's a good deal.